people think that, like if they think that you're irresponsible or lazy or you don't care and things like that, you feel an amount of shame, like if somebody does not perceive your character for what it is, you feel shame. And I truly believe a lot of people come from that. Honestly, I think I would compare it to like depression, because I was diagnosed with depression and I thought for a really long time I had depression, and there might be like some of that, but I think a lot of the time it was actually like emotional burnout, and I just didn't realize it because they would put me on these different antidepressants for years. I mean, I've heard about meditation, but she's who really introduced me to spirituality. I was kind of veering towards atheism. Like between atheism and nihilism. Which, are you familiar with nihilism?
Nah, how was that?
There's different, categories of nihilism. I was kind of veering towards like life has absolutely no meaning, you just make meaning out of it, which is like the healthy form of nihilism, because there are worse forms. But I don't have a lot of memory from that time, but that reminded me. There was a short time where we were thinking about having a child together. I think I wanted it more than she did. But we didn't go through with it, thankfully, honestly, because...
So if you guys were going to have a child, how were you guys Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful people, wherever you're watching us from around the world. Welcome once again on that great episode of One-on-One on K84 Podcast with your host and friend, Kenna the Greatest. All right. We got truly an amazing guest in the building tonight. But before we delve into having a conversation, make sure to become part of the K84 family and community. Just go on all social media platforms and search K84 Podcast and stay connected. Stick around. The show kicks off right after this.
It's KKATL, turn up, it's official. All right. Before we proceed to give you what you need, let me say this. If you got any story to share, or if you want to get featured on the show, or if you want to do business with us, hey, just hit us on the number you see on the screen and then we will get in touch. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest for today.
When life throws lemons at you, you make lemonade out of it. Born and raised in Oklahoma, Hailey Norrid is a passionate woman, a devoted mother, and someone who believes in constant growing and reaching new heights. Through life challenges and victories, she continues to push forward with determination, positivity, and purpose. Today, she joins us for a deep and inspiring conversation as we explore her journey, lessons learned, and passion that drives her every day. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Sit tight, stay glued to your seat. Please join us and welcome Hailey Norrid on One-on-One on K84 Podcast.
Okay, welcome, Miss Hailey.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm grateful. I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm alive. So how is life going on your end?
It's going good.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been very optimistic.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. All right, so before we delve in the conversation, right, I love to do this with my guests, right? I'll ask you, I'm going to give you like two, questions, like, an answer, sort of, and then you choose one. Then you tell me why. So I'll start it this way. McDonald's and KFC, what would you go for?
KFC.
Why KFC?
I don't know what it's called. I think it's the Famous Bowl.
Oh.
I would just prefer that.
So you pick KFC over McDonald's?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what about Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
Why Thanksgiving, not Christmas? Not almighty Christmas. Ho,
Because
ho, 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 ho. Santa Claus is in the building. Why not Christmas?
because food.
But there's food also on Christmas.
Oh. Dang, yeah, there's food and presents on Christmas.
Yeah, but on Thanksgiving
Can
is
I
just a
change my
day.
answer? No.
You want to change your answer? That's what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so why Christmas though?
Food and gifts.
Oh. So what food do you like the most? Since you're talking
Probably
about
sweet
food.
potato casserole.
I don't know what that is.
What do you have on Thanksgiving?
Me?
Yeah.
Every day is Thanksgiving for me. Thanksgiving, I don't know. I still be working. I don't know. I still be working. Like sometimes I ask myself, "What's today's day?" I'm like, but I don't know. You know what I mean?
You don't have a Thanksgiving meal?
Like I celebrate every day. I'm alive. That's what
Okay.
matters to me. You know what I mean, I'm not gonna wait for like a day to celebrate. Yeah, it's good to celebrate, you know, on special occasions, but every day is just a day for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every day is just a day for me. So what would you prefer to live? LA, California, or Miami, Florida? If you have to choose one.
I actually don't know.
You gotta choose one.
I don't know anything about them.
But you still gotta choose one. LA
Maybe LA?
or Miami?
Maybe LA.
Why LA? No Miami. Come on.
I don't know anything about either of them.
Okay, so you just made your choice. LA. Okay, yeah, I'll let it stay over there. So, what one would you go for, Toyota or Dodge?
Toyota.
Why Toyota though?
Because I had a Toyota before and I don't know anything about cars either.
Okay, so just Toyota for you.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. All right, so Miss Hailey, where were you born?
I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, 918. So you've lived all your life in 918.
Yes.
Okay, so how's life in Tulsa like?
Okay, so I actually lived in Sperry. I was born in Tulsa. And that's a small country town. So you can imagine.
Yeah. So you've lived all your life here in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Right. So you're real country, green country. Yeah, but okay. So compared to other states, I would say Oklahoma is country. For
Yes.
Me. You know what I mean? It's not like too much, like, you know what I mean? Like compared to New York, compared to LA, compared to like other places. Oklahoma is like settled, calm, green country. You know what I mean? Sort of.
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you deal with, like, listen, my first time in Oklahoma, experiencing tornadoes, I'm like, man, what the heck is this?
Oh no. It's I will hide in my bathtub.
And is it safe?
No, probably not. That's just what we were told growing up, so.
So why wouldn't there be a law that, hey, every house supposed to have like an underground, you know, shelter in it, because Oklahoma is prone to
Yes.
tornadoes? Why is it not a law?
I don't know. I wish it was. I wonder the same thing.
It's crazy because I've never had experience with tornadoes or this extreme weather, you know what I mean? And I'm like, my first time experiencing it, they was like, hey, get inside. I'm like, it's about to rain. The clouds were by the window. I'm like, what the dark? I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it gets scary.
That is, oh Lord. No. So I'll ask this, right? Are you married?
No.
What do you look for in a man?
I look for somebody who is emotionally available.
So what do you mean by emotionally available?
Somebody who's in touch with their emotions. They're aware of like their habits, their emotional habits.
It's a vibe.
Somebody who's curious about my emotions. Things like that.
Okay, so that's what you only need in a man that you want to get married to or settle down with?
I think that's the most important thing to me.
Is money not a thing for you? Because most females be like, yeah, I want my man to make this amount of money. You know what I mean? Like we hear and see on social media a lot.
I don't think so. I mean, it would just be a bonus.
So you don't have no expectation for like, hey, your man got to make a certain amount of money. Are you saying money is not a thing for you?
No, I mean, to the extent of like survival, but outside of that, no.
Really?
Yeah.
For real?
I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so.
No, but you not growing up with a lot of money supposed to be like, okay, yeah, then I want money. Because if you even grow up having it, then you want to be like, yeah, hey, I'm getting that bag.
Well, sure, I want money. It would be a bonus.
Oh. For real? This is my first time hearing something of that, so that money is not like...
Really? It's that common?
yeah, you know what I mean?
I know it's like a thing, but
Yeah, it's a thing now that like, hey, you got to make certain amount of money.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's foreign to me. Really?
For real?
Yes.
Oh. That's one here. All right. So, what kind of men do you attract to? Like, hey, you know what? I want to find me this type of man to kind of like, hey, settle down with. What do you expect in a man? Like, hey, you want to settle down forever? Like,
I don't know. I think somebody that I can trust. And like I said a moment ago, who is emotionally available. But outside of that, I don't know.
okay. So, if in a relationship, right, and then conflicts arise, how do you handle it?
Communication. Communication.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what if your partner don't want to communicate about that in that instance or that particular moment?
Too bad. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Like, I just try to hold space for people and where they're at, but if they can't communicate, then that's just not for me.
Okay. So what's the worst breakup you've ever, you know what I mean, experienced in your life growing up?
Oh, that's tough. The last one was pretty bad.
And then how did he end it? If you don't mind sharing.
Yeah. He made some threats to himself. I'll probably like leave it at that, but
Oh, that's bad.
yeah.
Right. That's bad. That's bad. So talking about, you know what I mean, relationship, right? There's a dynamic way, or there's a not dynamic, but there's a way, you know what I mean, people treat their relationship. How do you treat your relationship like if you are with your man or your partner?
It's a vibe.
I think that honestly, until recently, I think I focused too much on it. I've had some codependent tendencies, and I will just like focus all of my energy on the relationship, and I don't think that's healthy. But I've learned that through my most recent relationship. Going out of that, I think it would just be to complement each other. You know, like you said, the money thing, it would just be a bonus. But somebody who's like not consistent, what's the word? Intentional.
Okay.
Like I'm very intentional.
Okay. So when you with your man, right, and then life gets so difficult, how do you show up for him?
I am very like physically comforting, like holding, hugging, you know, things like that. I'm a Cancer. I don't know if that's relevant, but very emotionally. But I would just offer to hold him.
Yeah. So do you think reassurance in a relationship is needed?
Absolutely. I think it shouldn't be dependent upon. Like, I think that you should be able to live without it, but I think that it's everybody needs reassurance.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Okay. Right. So when it comes to like dating, right, people goes off in terms of like, hey, who their sex, partner or whatever. But are you poly, or are you, bisexual, or are you just straight, or how yours like?
I am monogamous, but I am bisexual.
Explain monogamous in your own way, like just one man, one woman.
Or one woman, one woman. Just committed to one person.
Okay, so let me pull you tight on this corner, right?
Okay.
Mind you, there's a lot of females in this world compared to men. So, would you not say if there are more female, right, 2 men, would it be fair to the other ladies if we have to split 1:1 and the other females that are not getting? I'm just asking.
I don't know if it really has to do with that. I think you just find who you want to be with.
So I'm just putting it in this way. You're trying to dodge my question, right?
Kinda.
But I'm like, hey, if we gotta share 1 man
Well, some
to
of
1:1,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? How is the rest going? Like the rest of the female left. So if like the population of this world with like 3 females is to 1 man. So in that instances, how is it gonna be like the rest remaining? How are they gonna be like the 2 remaining? How are they gonna be like?
I mean, life is not fair in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't share your partner?
No.
Man, but you gotta share. You know, sometimes if you got stuff, you gotta share.
No.
Why don't you want to share?
Just because it's not my thing.
No, but okay, so if if a neighbor is in need and you got it, you gotta share. So why don't you want to share? You know what I mean?
I think just like how some people, some men like men and women like women, it's just a preference thing. Some people are poly and they do share, and maybe that'll take up some of the other
Okay,
women.
So you were saying like you bisexual wise. So I don't know much about bisexual life. From your point of view, how is bisexual? You know what I mean? What kind of bisexual relationship? Like woman to woman. You've had the experience. So share with them. What's that experience like?
My first marriage was to a woman.
How long did it last?
It actually only lasted about a year, but we were very young.
Oh, how old was she then?
I was 18. Gay marriage had just become legal in Oklahoma.
So how did you guys do it? Because if that is not allowed in Oklahoma, then so how did you guys?
It had just became legal, and I was like 18 years old, and we were both very impulsive, so we just jumped on that.
So were your parents in support of, it?
They were supportive, yeah. They supported me.
So what was the dynamic like? Who was playing the man and who was playing the female? I don't know. I'm a curious person, so I love to, get in conversation and act like, because
Yeah, no. I don't think, I just laugh because it's a common question, but I don't know. It was really weird. Like she would wear my clothes on occasion, and stuff like that. Usually wear masculine clothes, but on occasion she would wear my clothes. And
so she was playing the male role in the house, or what?
Really, I almost feel like I might have been more masculine. That's why I said it was kind of weird. Like, I know I look all done up right now, but
who was paying the bills?
Paying the bill, neither. We were 18 and impulsive.
No, but if you guys are married and then in the same, weren't you guys living together?
We were couch surfing. We were impulsive.
So wait, so you were living with your friends or parent house at the time, or what?
Yep, both, off and on.
So
yeah.
why would you marry if you guys don't even have a place to live?
We were impulsive.
So, what plans did you guys have?
I don't think we did have any.
So you were just like, okay, you guys didn't think of, but you just like, hey,
No.
let's go do it.
No, yeah, we were raw dogging life.
So how did you end up breaking up that marriage?
Oh, I don't remember very well. I think I just decided it was like not what I wanted.
At what point did you thought of it like, hey, this is not what I wanted?
I really can't remember. It was like over 10 years ago.
So during that course, did you had like counseling or therapy, you know what I mean, to be like, yeah, hey, this is what I want, or this, or you just out of the blues be like, yeah, I want to do it no more.
Yeah.
And how did she take it?
She was pretty pissed off about it at the time, but she did cheat on me during our relationship.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, so she cheated on you
Yes.
with who? A male or a female?
A female, and in the same bed as where I was sleeping. Yeah. Yeah.
For real?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. So
And that was before we got married.
so cheating, right? Male and male or female to female, like, do they cheat? Is it a thing?
Yes.
Because I know that like with men and women, yeah, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
that dynamic, it's normal. But like, I think so with a female cheat on another female or a gay, you know what I mean, I'm like, it never crossed my mind.
Oh, what's the thing? Yeah. It's just people.
Oh,
Like people who will do it.
that is crazy. So
Yeah.
did you have like future plans that, hey, we want to build a family, we want to do this, we want to, when you guys were in it, or it's just for fun, you just guys having fun?
We actually, now that you mentioned that, I forgot. I don't have a lot of memory from that time, but that reminded me. There was a short time where we were thinking about having a child together. I think I wanted it more than she did. But we didn't go through with it, thankfully, honestly, because
So if you guys were going to have a child, how were you guys going to do it? Because, hey, woman, I'm not judging nobody. I'm
No,
not
I
judging
know.
nobody. But how you going to do it? Because you need a sperm from a man to create it.
that's how we were gonna do it.
So wait, okay. In that process, are you going to do it the natural way?
Yeah.
Or you going
I think that was the plan.
so wait, hold on. I'm trying to break something down. So are you going to do it the natural way?
Mm-hmm.
As in, you know what I mean? You laying down and let the man do his thing, and
Yep.
then so that was the agreement, or she, because hey, if you guys are in that space, the other wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. I think that was the plan. I can't remember fully. I think it was between that or like, I don't know how to say this in like a classy way, but like collecting sperm from somebody. Like how they would do in a doctor's office, but if you were 18.
That is crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. So, okay, let me put this scenario. So, assuming you guys had a man to deal with, right? And the man end up getting both of you pregnant.
If he what?
If the man end up getting both of you pregnant, because let's say
It was going to be with me.
with you,
Yeah.
so because if you playing the man, I think she's playing the lady. She also be like, hey, she also want it.
I don't know. I'm telling you, it was weird.
I see. All right. So moving away from it, how's your spirituality like?
More recently, I have become more spiritual. Like for a moment, I was kind of veering towards atheism. Like between atheism and nihilism. Which, are you familiar with nihilism?
Nah, I was that.
There's different, categories of nihilism. I was kind of veering towards like life has absolutely no meaning. You just make meaning out of it, which is like the healthy form of nihilism, you know, because there are worse forms. But, and I was kind of between that because I had came out of very conservative religion. And I think because of the things that like some of the things that I endured when I was religious, I just really wanted to like rest.
So what are certain things you endured when you was religious?
So the church that I went to, they were really lovely people. I still have respect for them and I love them. I don't think that they meant to cause any harm. It was really just the beliefs mixed with my brain. Like I have OCD.
Okay.
And so I would fast often, not just from food, from sleep, from social interaction.
Okay.
So I would isolate. There's the idea that like a woman should submit to a man, and which I don't think that that's inherently wrong. I think that that depends on preference. And then, but I'm sure that it can go, I mean, it can go bad, you know, like it can go to an extreme. But because of religion mixed with my OCD, it kind of did go to an extreme. Like I just,
It's a vibe.
like my pastor's wife once said to me, she was like, I think that like you're thinking too far into things. Like, like I think you're being a little bit extreme. And I just didn't know how to not be. Because there are people who will go to church and they'll hear the message and they'll go home and they'll like drop a cuss word here and there, or just sin and know that God has grace. But for me, it was like I was terrified of sinning. I would fast all the time. Just OCD. If
Okay,
you're
so
familiar.
talking about submission, right? That you mentioned earlier on. Do you believe in women submitting to a man?
I think it depends on preference.
Okay, so what's your preference?
I think maybe to an extent. Maybe to an extent. I just don't know exactly what that looks like to me.
Okay, so in your idea, what submission means to you?
It's a vibe.
Maybe letting a man lead. But again, I don't know exactly what that would look like.
So in your relationships, don't the man lead?
I don't know.
How? Or do you wear the pants in your relationship?
I don't think so.
So then the man is leading.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. You being in a church, right? What are certain things you found out in the church that you didn't like?
I think the idea of like, this is the one true God, this is the one belief. The other ones are, I mean, really they believed like of the devil. Like if you believed in a different religion, like it was evil. And so it was hard to have equality and really just healthy relationships with that outlook, you know? You just kind of came off all the time as like holier than thou to people. But you couldn't help it because that's what you were taught, you know? So.
All right. So when do you feel most spiritually alive?
I think when I'm journaling and meditating.
So how often do you meditate?
Probably not as much as I should. I would say once or twice a week.
Okay. So in your take me through your meditation process. How does it start? How does it go? How does it, you know what I mean? I want to know.
Okay, so I think meditation looks different to different people, but for me, are you familiar with verbal processing?
I don't meditate. Maybe my meditation is different, but
No, that's okay. Verbal processing is not a meditation thing. It's like a form of how like certain people process different ways. I process verbally. I process my thoughts verbally.
so wait, if I have to get it right, hey, you'd be saying things to yourself, you know what I mean, loud, like, hey, I'm this, I'm that, you know what I mean, that's what you mean.
It's like yes, it's like the idea of like thinking out loud. So like you'll be like saying things that are like irrelevant to the conversation, but it's because you're trying to like sort your thoughts out out loud. And so whenever I journal and meditate, I will like get on my notes app on my phone and like talk to text on my notes, because it provides like it makes it to where like I can verbally process instead of like writing it down or thinking about it. Because a lot of people, when they think of meditation, they think of like being really quiet and thinking, you know. But I process things better out loud.
Okay, my style of meditation is this. I'll be quiet by myself and be thinking. I think a lot. Yeah, I'm always thinking through things, but usually I'll be quiet in a quiet space or environment, and then just be processing things. Okay, you know what I mean? Just be reflecting through. That is my form of meditation. Like, okay,
Yeah.
man, I didn't do this right here. I think, you know what I mean? Some of that sort. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, yeah. So, when you meditate, after meditation, how do you feel?
I feel really good. I feel like super optimistic. I feel at peace. Like the idea of faith is like knowing that everything is going to be okay even through uncertainty. And that's how I would describe how I feel. Like I just feel like things are going to be good.
Okay. Who initiated you or taught you about meditation?
My sister.
Oh. At what age? At what age was that?
I honestly, it was like the past couple years. I mean, I've heard about meditation, but she's who really introduced me to spirituality.
Okay. What does scared mean to you? Are you scared?
Scared?
Yep.
Yes.
What are you scared of? I want to know what you're scared of.
A lot of things.
A lot of things like what?
I'm scared of being misunderstood. I'm overcoming that fear, but it is a fear. I don't know. That's a big one. I'm scared of uncertainty. Uncertainty is very scary.
Okay.
I think those would probably be the two biggest things.
So you know what your fears and your scares are. So what are you doing to overcome it or beat it?
So the uncertainty, the fear of uncertainty, I have been working on being present. So I will look at it like, okay, is the fear that I have right now based in the future, in the past, or in the present? And if it's in the future or in the past, I just decide this isn't something I can control. And we'll just try to experience what I'm experiencing in the present. And that's how I deal with uncertainty. And then the other, being misunderstood, that's taken a really long time. It's just, I do pretty much the same thing. I tell myself that's outside of my control.
Okay. So what does misunderstood means, or like explain in your own term, like, hey, people not getting what you're trying to say, or what are you trying to do, or how is it like in your world?
Yeah, I think it's like not perceiving me for who I am or my intentions, which I think part of that fear comes from growing up with ADHD and autism. There are a lot of things like people think that you should just like skills you should just have as a person or an adult, and certain things like executive dysfunction and things like that can be viewed as laziness or irresponsible or selfish or things like that. And or I remember one time growing up being told, like, I just don't care. Like, I just don't care about other people. I only care about myself. And I'm like, that's so far from the truth. Like, I have struggled with people pleasing up until like very recent. I mean, I still struggle with it, but I'm learning it. And so to be like misunderstood, and that's my character, like to say that I don't care about people, that I just care about myself. Like, it just, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's just a big struggle. It's a fear of being misunderstood.
Okay. So what does silence means to you?
I don't know her. Like, I'm constantly, like I told you, I verbally process. So I don't know. I mean, I try sometimes to like be silent when I'm meditating at times, but I don't like silence.
Okay. Talking about spirituality, right? What form of spirituality makes sense to you?
It's a vibe.
I think that the idea that all of the knowledge and the things that we need, that like we're complete, it's all within us. I don't think that we have to look to a religion or anything like that. I say within us, like nature, I think that we're all connected. And everything that we need is within us. Like we have everything available. We don't need like a Bible, or that's what makes the most sense to me.
Okay. Have you ever been spiritually betrayed?
What do you mean by that?
We get betrayed, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you believe in something and then you later find out that, hey, it's not working. It's not what it is.
I don't know. When I think of betrayal, I think of like with malicious intentions, you know? I mean, like I said, I did suffer, or I experienced a lot of hard things in religion and stuff like that, but I don't think that they meant to do that. So I don't think so. Because when I think of betrayal, I think of like their meaning to do it, you know?
Okay. Do you trust your inner voice?
I'm learning to.
How are you learning to? Or you don't pay attention to it or what?
I pay attention to it. I just doubt myself a lot.
Why do you doubt yourself? Are you not that good?
I think just from making mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect on this planet. We all make mistakes, but hey, just gotta, you know what I mean, trust it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I've made mistakes before and I'm scared of making mistakes. Like if I'm scared of consequences.
Okay. My thing is, you don't have to be scared, because if you're scared, use your fear. Let your fear motivate you to do the things you're scared to do. Because, okay, I'm like, hey, I'm scared of this shit.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, I'm going to use that same, tactics. I'm going to reverse it in a way to build. Because sometimes we got to see the positive aspect of things, even our negatives, right? There's still positive aspect of our negative. Okay?
Yes. No, I full-heartedly agree. That's kind of my more recent like thoughts on things. That's why I say I'm learning to trust my inner voice. Because I do think even the mistakes have like led us to where we are today. But up until very recently, like, no, I wouldn't have trusted her.
Yeah. Do you feel more connected to nature?
I think so.
Tell me.
I don't know. Like, I think that we're all connected, and by all, like, we are all, I think, people, nature, the trees, the wind, the earth, all of it. I think we're all connected. So, I don't know. I think even just for our health, like, it's necessary. So I would say that I feel more connected to it.
Okay. What would spirituality look like if nobody would judge you for saying it or being it?
I don't know. Because up until recently, I've really functioned from a place of like fear of judgment and being misunderstood, like I said a moment ago. So like I'm still learning that.
Do you always care about what people will say about you?
In the past, heavily.
Because if it is, then you're not going to pursue certain things, because people always have a say. People always have opinion. Because if you're always going to base your life on what people will say, then you're always going to be like, you not do nothing. Because if you do good, they going to say. If you do bad, they going to say.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, I agree. That's just something I'm more recently learning.
All right. So let's talk about emotions, right? Mental health. How is your state of mind like going through some of the difficult moments in life?
There's a lot of anxiety and trying to just keep everything under control, which is consistent with the people pleasing, and the codependency is just keeping everything just so, up until, again, recently it's just being present and just experiencing, the present.
Okay. What emotions do you feel the hardest to sit down with or cope with?
Shame.
Shame. Explain what shame in your way, in your world.
oh gosh, I feel like I'm not giving very good answers. I would go back to being misunderstood. Like when people think that, you know, like if they think that you're irresponsible or lazy or you don't care and things like that, you feel an amount of shame, you know? Like if somebody does not perceive your character for what it is, you feel shame. And I truly believe a lot of people come from that. They come from that place. Like I feel like a lot of people are functioning from a place of unfaced shame. Like people that are well older than I am.
Okay.
You know.
All right. What does your inner critics looks like?
I don't know. Sometimes it's just like, you dumb bitch. Like, what are we doing?
I'm a self-critic, right? I criticize myself a lot. So before somebody comes in to tell me that, hey, look at this, I've already spotted it. Now, I wouldn't say every day or every time, but I'm always looking at myself, looking at things I'm doing. I'm like, okay, I think I need to improve here. I need to improve there. So when it comes to criticism, I just take it. When people say, okay, cool, I'm not going to be offended because it's hard to criticize people.
Yeah.
Constructively. People don't take criticism lightly. But for me, I'm like, why not? You know, when you say something, I'll listen. If it means, you know what I mean, I'll sit down for a minute. Okay, cool. I hear what you said. I'll take into consideration and then look if it fits what I'm doing. Because sometimes people always have a say with the things we do.
Yeah.
But you as a person doing it, know that, I know what I'm doing. But sometimes, like you said, being misunderstood or misunderstood, I know me. I don't do things the traditional way. If I'm doing things from the onset, you never get it. You never get the direction of where I'm trying to do. But when I'm done, I get it. But sometimes people don't get it. Sometimes most people don't get it. And then they'll misunderstand you and then misunderstood you. They'll interpret you wrongly. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Wait, let me finish or let me complete it. All right. In that sense, right, in relationships, right, when you're with your partner and your partner don't get you, how does that make you feel as a person?
There have been times where I've questioned myself based off of them misunderstanding me. But mostly just like frustrated. Like it gets frustrating. Because with the idea of like people pleasing, and codependency and just keeping everything just so, I will literally work myself to a state of like burnout to try to keep things balanced. So when I'm like working that hard and over explaining myself and just going to lengths, keep things under like, you know, in just a peaceful place or what I think a peaceful place should look like. And they're still misunderstanding my intentions, you know, like whatever that might look like. It's just like I said, I've already like reached a place of burnout because I'm overextending myself, you know, emotionally. And, so just super frustrating. Not hopeless. Discouraging.
Okay. On that note, how do you fix emotional damage and rupture?
Like after a conflict?
Yep.
Yes. I think the goal is always to come back to it and communicate. Even if we need to take space and think or emotionally regulate, but to come back to it. Because I think that conflict is a normal part of relationships. And if anything, it can build deeper connection if you can figure out how to work together to resolve conflict.
Okay. Right. When do you feel most safe in your own mind or in your own space?
I don't know. I'm really anxious a lot of the time.
How do you deal with it?
I've been working on like emotional regulation with things like belly breathing and bilateral tapping or some people call it butterfly tapping, and then the journaling and the meditation.
Right. What sense of experience feels overwhelming to you?
I don't deal with sensory stuff at like to the extent that some people that have, ADHD and autism do. But the ones that I do deal with are more things like some sounds and textures. Really just like if I'm in a place, like if I'm outside of my window of tolerance emotionally, then really like most things will be sensory overload.
Right. So tell me this. What routines helps you, or restricts you?
Most of them.
Share with me. I wouldn't know.
I have a really hard, like, time blindness. Do you know about time blindness?
I heard, but I don't know what it is.
It is like thinking you have more time than you do. Like I'll check the clock and I'll be like, okay, I have this amount of time, and just think that I have room for all these different things. And then that time has come and I'm like, I've done like 2 of the things. So it's just, I don't know, it's very common in ADHD and ADHD. But it's not an excuse. It's something that like I do plan to overcome. I just have not figured out how to do it yet.
Okay, so in what space are your differences valued?
I think with like-minded people, most of the time.
So what are like-minded people like to you?
People that are also like neurodivergent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So in your space, right, in your world, right, do you focus on one thing at a time? Or you kind of like, you all out there, just scattered all around?
Yes. The second. I'll have to like repeat things in my mind over and over again to like remember what it is that I need to do, or I will most likely forget it. Like I'll hear my phone go off that I got a text, but I'm in the middle of doing something and I'm like, I need to finish this before I go and check what that is. But I was expecting a text and it might be an important one. So I'll be like phone, or text over in my head so that I don't forget it, because I'll start thinking about other things and then just the important text it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't exist in my mind.
I see. What accommodations, right, really helps improve the quality of your life?
I think breaks.
Okay.
I think being able to take breaks to like emotionally regulate, just to gather my thoughts and things like that would make a huge difference.
So can you handle stress or pressure?
Can I handle it?
Yep.
I believe I can. I'm just learning. I've gotten a lot better at it.
Okay. Yeah. Let me put you in this scenario, right?
Okay.
If you've been put in a box, or if you've been assigned a task, and then you've been given a time limit, and it's overwhelming, and you hit a certain peak, are you going to stop? But you still not, you've still not accomplished your task goal or aim or whatever, are you going to stop or still push through?
I feel like I would push through. I just don't know if I would accomplish it if I'm in a high stress situation. Like I might still be late.
When you get burned out, how does it look like for you?
Honestly, I think like I would compare it to like depression, because I was diagnosed with depression and I thought for a really long time I had depression, and there might be like some of that, but I think a lot of the time it was actually like emotional burnout, and I just didn't realize it because they would put me on these different antidepressants and they would seem to like have little to no effect. Even for like my OCD, a lot of times first line treatment is an SSRI, an antidepressant. It wouldn't touch it. And I don't think that, my theory is that it was because it comes more from like my neurodivergence, because OCD like tendencies are common in autism. They can be, and burnout can be common in autism and ADHD. And So I think that that's why the meds weren't touching it. So I think it looks like depression to me, you know.
I hear and I heard OCD folks are super clean. They want everything on, you know what I mean? Are you that type?
Not when you have ADHD. No, like, no. I would like it to be that way. I think that my mind would feel a lot more at ease if that were the case. But with ADHD, there's just an amount of executive dysfunction that I bring to the function, like that, keeping things clean. I just don't. I say that I don't possess. I'm learning to possess.
How do you express anger?
I think that probably in different ways. There have been times when I've avoided it, like I've numbed it or avoided it. There are times when I've acted on it. What exactly do you mean? Like, how do I experience it? How do I deal with it?
People express their emotions. Anger is part of, you know what I mean, our emotions, right? People express it in different forms, in different ways. People smash things. People like, me, I'll just walk out.
So how do I act when I'm angry?
How do you know what I mean? How do you act? How do you express it? You know what I mean? In what form? In what shape? In what, you know what I mean, dimension?
It really differs. Sometimes I will, like I said, sometimes I'll avoid it or numb it. Sometimes I will try to regulate it. I'll try to communicate it. It can depend.
Give me an instance, right, that you got mad. You know what I mean? Give me an instance and how it happened, and then how did you
It's a vibe.
navigated your way around all of that?
I feel like there was a time recently, and I'm trying to like retrace my train of thought. Okay. So I don't know if that's like anger or defensiveness. I feel like I was feeling mad during that time. Here's another thing, little disclaimer. With being neurodivergent, there is like an amount of like not being in tune with your own body. So like when you're feeling things like anger, sometimes it can be hard to identify or even like name it to regulate it. So it can be kind of hard for me to like think of. But recently, I think that I would say that I was angry during this time. I had gone out one night and I think it was for like Mardi Gras, like the last day of Mardi Gras. And originally when I went out, I did not plan on drinking. I was like, I'm not even going to have a drink. And I overdrank. And ended up staying out past the time that the bars closed and stuff like that. And I came home and I couldn't drive the car, so I had to go home and wake up my boyfriend to go and get somebody gave me a ride home, and he had to go get the vehicle. And he had work in a couple hours in the morning. So I feel really bad about it. But so the next, I apologized for it the next morning, like when he got up to go to work. And then when he got home, I think between feeling like he like was upset with me and didn't want to talk to me, and also like defensive, like be like maybe like I'm gonna be misunderstood, like what I told you earlier. I kind of refrained from like apologizing again. I was like, I've already apologized, but then I ended up apologizing anyways, and I did end up feeling defensive, like I was being misunderstood or like too harshly judged, and I ended up getting really mad and just kind of started getting defensive and like trying to stick up for myself and like that. And then the conversation went pretty downhill and he ended up walking out. But during that time, I had time, like after he walked out, I had time to process. And then when he came back in, I was like, okay, like I want to understand like how it made you feel, like me staying out past the time and you having to go and get the truck and the different things. Like I want to understand. I just was feeling defensive. So that's like a healthier version,
Okay.
of turning things around and trying to regulate them, but it's not always that way.
Okay. How do you receive care? When people want to be there for you, how do you receive them? Because some people, they're like, nah, I don't want it.
Yeah. I think just when people show curiosity. And then like if they're curious and I share with them, just being intentional. Like it doesn't have to be anything huge, just curiosity and being intentional.
Okay. So would you like somebody who like be upfront? Because some people are not upfront. They be like, you could see what they're coming at, but they're not upfront or they're not outspoken. Would you be it for somebody who is more upfront, or somebody who's like he or she not going to tell you upfront, but you know what he or she's about?
Hands down, somebody who's upfront. With that being said, you know, there are people that are like, it's just tough love, or I'm just a forward person, but it's really just the guys for being a dick, you know, like not that kind of upfront when people are just like harsh with people. But they're being careless about it, you know?
Yeah.
I definitely value being upfront. I just think that there is, again, if you're being intentional about it, like caring for the person's feelings when being upfront, but hands down upfront. Yeah.
Okay. How do you handle disappointment in others?
Communication.
Or when somebody disappoints you, the first instant, what would be the first instant? Yeah.
Oh, the first instinct would be rumination, of course. Like I have OCD and anxiety and things. I'm going to ruminate on it for a while, and then I would communicate it.
So what's your style of communication?
I don't know. What do you mean?
How do you communicate? People have forms, means, and way they communicate.
Oh, like you mean over the phone, or
it could be over the phone.
In person?
It could be in person communicating. It could be like verbal communication. It could be like because everybody's different. Some communicate in a different way. Some could like give you signs like, hey, when people are unique in their own way. Somebody could put this pen here, it means something. Somebody could put something here, it means something. People use verbal and non-verbal, forms of communication. So how do you communicate as a person?
I think I prefer to communicate in person. On occasion, I think like a letter or text is more useful, just depending like if there's an issue with interrupting or people not listening to what you're saying. I think sometimes like over text or writing would have more of an impact, but generally I prefer to communicate in person.
All right. In your love life or relationships, right? What are certain boundaries that you find it very difficult to enforce?
Oh gosh, you really caught me in a weird place for a lot of these questions, because up until recently, all of them, I really did not. I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know what a boundary looked like.
Okay.
Yeah. But recently, I've been kind of learning, like just things that you don't like, you know. But whenever you come from a place of people pleasing and codependence, if you're trying to keep everything just so, and you set a boundary, that threatens things just being just so, you know. So really, just all of them were terrifying to me. But now coming out of like how I told you I was veering on atheism and nihilism, how like I just thought like nothing mattered and you just make meaning of life. But now I actually do believe like everything happens for a reason. So when I'm thinking about like setting a boundary, and even though like all of them are difficult to set and they're like scary, I just remind myself that like it's necessary and we don't have control over the outcome, you know. Like if it's necessary, we don't have to keep things just so or keep things under control. Things will pan out how they pan out.
Okay. Would you abandon yourself to maintain a connection with somebody?
Not anymore.
But
have
you
I?
used to do it?
Yes.
So tell me, I want to know that experience.
So just for one, what we just spoke on, like lack of boundaries, not being able to set boundaries. I mean, there have been times where I just thought that cheating would be the line, you know, and I would try to work it out past that, and then things would happen even after, like while we're trying to work through things, and I would just keep on, and like for the sake of empathy for people, because I have like obscene amount of empathy, but without boundaries is chaos. Like, it's useless, you know? But there's been a lot of self-abandonment in that, in the realm of just empathy without boundaries.
Okay. What belief is the hardest for you to let go in your life?
I don't know if there's any like one set specific belief. I think the uncertainty of any of them is like what's hard for me. Like, it's hard to let go of them just because like we don't know for sure. So, and there's that fear of uncertainty. But outside of that, like, really a lot of them really just piss me off. Like, I only adhered to them because I believed that they were true. Like, we were taught that they were true, you know? It really just out of fear.
Okay. You were deep rooted in religion, right? In the church, right? Did you felt the church or people who were in the top hierarchy of the church were being controlling?
No, I don't think intentionally. No, I think they believed what they taught. I think that they were just faithful to what they believed.
But did you believe in what you were taught?
I believed it in the sense that that they said that it was true, and they would give like examples of why they believed it was true that were convincing, and so I just felt like I couldn't chance it. It's like eternity, you know, was at stake. But yeah.
Okay, let's say you're in the church, right?
Right.
And then the preacher man or the pastor or whatever is preaching.
Yeah.
And whatever he or she is preaching, it don't click.
Yeah, that's what's bad. When I was in it, Like, they could preach some off the wall shit and I'd be like, all right, man, that makes sense. You know, like, if you show me a place in the Bible where it matches up, like, I was not gullible. I don't know.
So did you read the Bible a lot when you was religious?
I did. I wasn't like so trusting that I didn't read the Bible. I did read the Bible. I've read it all the way through.
You've read from Genesis to Revelation. You've read all of it.
Yes, I've read the entire Bible. Yeah.
How long? How many years do you spend reading all the Bible?
I don't know how long it took me. I was in religion I grew up religious, but like the conservative religion, probably for 4 to 5 years. And there were times where I would read, I don't know if we even call them chapters, because you've got like your books and then you've got, you know, I would read several of them and then I would reread them again at nighttime.
So did you understand what you was reading? Because sometimes the Bible,
I'm sure I misunderstood it.
Because the Bible is sort of like proverbial, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Parabolic, or you know what I mean? You need deep understanding, though you can understand it from the normal point, but sometimes certain parts you need deep, you know what I mean? So you were just reading it, or you were like, did you have discussions with others? I
was reading it. I had discussions with others. I had a study Bible. I had a Strong's Concordance. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it like translates the words from like Greek and Hebrew and stuff like that. I still, even with all those things, I'm sure I misunderstood plenty of things, just because I think, like you said, there's a lot of metaphors and things like that I think it's up for interpretation. And obviously plenty of different churches interpret it different ways. You know, some believe like you can speak in tongues. Others are like, no, that's blasphemy, you know. But I read through all of it and studied it. I would watch Christian apologetics videos like on top of those things, just so that I could like get a better, like, I obsessively.
Okay. You've been in, you know what I mean? You've been in the church, right? What are certain things you saw and experienced and then you feel like, nah, they're not doing certain things right?
I can't think of a time specifically.
But in general?
I can't think of a time like outside of myself. Like it was mainly stuff that like I did,
So,
like the fasting and things like that.
no, I mean, we in a church, right? And you see some of our actions be like, nah, I don't think this is right. Because we serving God, right? I want to hear from your point of view or in your word, what you experience in the Christendom or in the religion in Amias. But hey, if we say we serving God, why do we do this?
I don't know. I don't know if I can name a time that I experienced that. Like I was pretty all in. Like I believed that they were pretty faithful to what they believed, you know? I can't think of a time that I was like, that doesn't seem right, you know?
Okay. All right. So talking us, talking from the point of view from the church, right? Oklahoma is a Bible belt. Yeah. And then, but for me, I'm not from Oklahoma, but things I see, I'm like, okay, so why would you pick up your Bible, go to church, and then next minute you come and then be looking down on people?
Yeah.
Then what was the essence of, because God is love. So if God is love, why can't we love,
Yeah.
everybody?
Yeah. I didn't get that vibe from the church that I went to. I'm sure there were people like that there, that were like intolerant of people. And I'm sure that we came off during that time as that we, were judgmental. But I think that there is this line of what your intentions are. Because for me, it was like I was married to, okay, we were separated, but I was married to a woman still legally when I went into the church. Even though we were separated, like I still obviously had attraction for men and women. But when I got there and I learned that that was against the rules, that was a sin, I just chose not to act on that anymore, So they were pretty like consistent with what they believed. So I can't think of a time that they weren't, like it was more so me that went overboard. I just believed what they said. Like if it matched up with the Bible well enough in my mind, like we're going with that. Okay, hold on. I lost my train of thought. I went down a rabbit trail. We were talking about being judgmental. I think there is a line of of what your intentions are, whether or not you're judgmental, because there are people that are just like, oh, that's wrong, you're going to hell, and that's judgmental. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just going off of the Bible and you're reading the Bible and it says that this is a sin, and you speak that, then you're just naming what you believe. That's not like with the intention of judging people. You're just spreading what you believe, and that's how it was at the time. Like I said, going into it, I was legally married to a woman, and I just decided not to do that anymore, because it doesn't matter what we want or what, it just matters what God says, because the Bible says like he's the potter and you're the clay. Does the clay question the potter? No, like we're infallible. So I think there's just a line in intentions there, if that makes sense out loud.
Yeah. Then, right, when you was in the church and then you married, did you go into church with your partner, the lady you was married with?
No.
She didn't go?
No, I actually got into another relationship. Like we were still legally married. We hadn't legally got divorced yet. And I got into another relationship with an atheist. And that was like, I used her for example because we were still legally married, but really like it would have made more sense for me to use him for example, because that's why I broke up with him, is because he was an atheist and I was now like a conservative Christian.
How did you guys met?
Me and
the atheist, how did you guys met?
So I actually knew him from years back, and we just ran back into each other. But that was before I got into church. We were together, and then I got into church, and they were like, atheists and Christians aren't really supposed to be together. That could threaten the spiritual well-being. If you guys have children together, you know, that could lead them down the wrong path. And he's like the leader of the household, you know, and things like that. And so I ended up breaking up with him for that reason.
So how long did you guys, you know what I mean?
I think probably for only like a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Was he a bad person?
No. He was not. I just was faithful to what I believed. Like, it's not even that I wanted to do it. Like I said, even with being attracted to women, it's like, I'm attracted to women. That's something that, like, I want. But if God says it's wrong, I just wasn't going to do it anymore.
Okay.
Now I'm far removed from that idea, but that's how it was at the time.
Okay, so with your experience in that world, would you date or marry or settle down with somebody who's like, hey, this is me, like, this is my fate, different from what you believe in?
I think so. I think it would just depend on what it is. Like, if it's, and maybe it wouldn't. I was gonna say maybe if it were an atheist, that could be difficult for me. But maybe it wouldn't. I don't know, because really I've just recently become spiritual. Like, my beliefs have very recently changed. So I'm still kind of testing things and seeing what I like and what I want.
Okay. All right, Miss Hailey. It's been a great conversation with you, and I enjoy, you know what I mean, your deep thought and then all of that. And then I really appreciate you for coming on this episode to, you know what I mean, to share some insight and that with. Thank you for having you on this episode, and I'll have you back again. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Hey, folks, thank you for staying through this episode. And I mean, I enjoyed this conversation with my guest, Miss Hailey. And let me say this. I know a lot of you watch our videos out there, but if you have not subscribed, please go on YouTube or Facebook or all of the social media platforms and just type in K84 Podcast. Follow, like, subscribe, and be part of our community and then family. Hey, and then also, if you want to, you know what I mean, get featured on the show, just reach out. It's an open and safe space for all to come on and have real conversation. So what I got to say, thank you again for staying true or spending your quality time with us. I appreciate you. Catch you on that episode. Bye-bye.
It's KK ATL, turn up, it's official.